How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be installing the Mangoal front and rear dash cam. The front is going to shoot 4K and the rear is going to shoot 1080p. Great things about this dash cam. So it does have built-in Wi-Fi and there is a free app available to download, so you are able to save your video wherever you are in case you need a clip for any reason. An even cooler thing about this is it's going to be an OEM look. So that means you're not going to have to do any wiring. You're not going to have to tap into any fuse boxes. So that's going to be great because I really don't want to do that. It's just going to go right under your mirror, which is going to make for a great clean look. So we're going to go ahead and see what's in the box of this dash cam. If you're like me, then packaging is honestly just as important as the actual product. So as you can tell, the packaging is really nice, and this is going to include everything you need to install your dash cam. Okay, so once we take everything out of the box, first it's going to come with, of course, your user manual. There's a bunch of good information in here. In here is going to be how to set up the app, which I will do a demonstration on that. But it also has like the Wi-Fi password and stuff like that, so that's going to be useful to keep this booklet. It also does come with these instructions here. There is a pretty helpful thing in here. It shows you which pin to use, like which connector to use. And we're not going to use the iSight one, so it makes sure to tell you that you do not use the iSight connector to draw power for this dash cam. And then it gives you a little piece about the app and what you need to do to make sure that works properly. But then when we get to the dash cam part, it does come with a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, which is awesome. This is going to be the front dash cam. So it's going to clip in under your mirror, but it also is going to be double-sided taped on there. And they also, looks like they give you an extra one, so that's great. These are going to be the two power connectors. So one's going to be for the front and one's going to be for the rear. And then in this bag here is going to be the rear dash cam. Same thing, it's going to be double-sided taped onto the window, as well as they give you another extra piece as well if you need that. So let's go ahead, get into this install. I think this is going to be awesome. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop off this plastic clip, this plastic piece right here that's behind the map light. So that was super easy to do. They did include a little plastic pry bar tool. So the next thing we're going to have to do is there's two Phillips head screws in each side. We're going to go ahead and unscrew those. And then this whole piece should come down. So we're going to have access to the connectors that we're going to have to tap into. Okay, now that we have those two Phillips head screws out, you'll just want to pop this front part down. And then this whole unit will come down like this. Alright, so I'm kind of learning as I go. I went ahead and just literally removed this piece. You can just unclip these 1, 2, 3, 4 clips right here. And they're really easy to tell where they go because they're color coded and the sizes are really different. In the directions, it shows this little connector wrapped in foam, and you're gonna find that above the passenger side right there, right here. So we're gonna use that for the power, and I just wanted to show the inside of the car because I know it's hard to see, but that is the connector you're gonna use for the power right there. Alright, little update. So we have the front dash cam in. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but there's gonna be 3 holes up here. You're gonna want to go to the one that's the furthest away, all the way over here, closest to the passenger side. That was the only way I was able to feed through this big wire with the clips here, was to use this hole all the way closest to the passenger side. And then this, of course, is 2 pieces, so it's the plate that sticks to the window, which that's what I put on first, and then I clipped on the bottom piece starting from this point here and then going up. So that's clipped in, it's placed good on the windshield with the double-sided tape, and then we finally have the wires pushed through. There is an optional GPS connector, but I did not get this, so if you do want that, I would just let them know and they can get that for you, but that is an option if you want it. So we're gonna go ahead and figure out this wiring, and then I will check back with you guys. All right, another update. Sorry if my engine is a little loud or the exhaust is a little loud. So we got everything clipped back in. We have that power cord tucked back up in that corner. The car is on. So when the car is on and there's power to the dash cam, you'll see 3 blinking blue lights on the underside that I just showed. And the blinking lights means it's ready to be paired. So there's also a blue light on the rear one too. So I'm gonna do a little walkthrough of how to set it up on the app and connect to your phone so you can see the live footage, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so everything you need to know to get the app and set it up is in here. Super simple. You're now ready to download the Skycam app. This is where you're going to add your camera and be able to download clips whenever you would like. So you're going to download the app, you're going to agree to their terms, and then you're going to turn your location to always on. Next, you'll be able to put in the Wi-Fi password that is in that booklet. And then once you're connected, you will now be able to add your camera, and then you will see a preview. That's when you know you are good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and tuck these wires. I do have some panels off, so I'm gonna tuck it under the headliner and then make it look really clean, and then I will come back with you guys when I'm ready to show you some driving footage. All right, here is the final product. Here is the look from the outside. It's a super clean OEM look, like I said. So the wires are, you can barely see them up here, but you cannot see any wires. I just tucked them all in the headliner, and they gave you a couple zip ties, which really helped. And then here's the rear. One thing I recommend is before you stick them to the window, I went ahead and cleaned the window. And then for the rear one, I tried to line it up with the rear antenna. So I just put like a painter's tape line down the back of the outside of the window where the antenna was, so I could get my best guess at where the middle was. All right, so let's go ahead, head out and get some footage and see what this camera looks like. As you can tell, the front camera is awesome 4K footage. The rear camera is in 1080p, but I did figure out that this actually records audio as well, so that is super cool to know that. Moving on to the rear camera, there is a little glare, but also my window isn't the cleanest. So the rear camera is, like I said, 1080p, and it still gives a great picture. Moving on to nighttime, this is the front view of the 4K camera at night. Super clear picture at night. The street lights really aren't complementing the picture that well, but you can still see clearly, and this camera is great at night too. So here's the rear facing camera at nighttime. Even though the window is a little dirty and there is some glare, it still gives a crystal clear picture. And the cool thing about the rear camera is it does swivel a little bit, so if you need it to aim up or down, it is easily adjustable whenever you need to do that. Mangold makes dash cams for all type of vehicles. I just used my WRX in this video as an example. If you are interested in this dash cam and do not want to do any wiring, go ahead, check the link in my bio. You can use code TJShoop8 for a 10% discount. If you are interested, please check out their website. This was a super easy install, and I really do not like having to wire anything up. So just having everything OEM look and OEM feel was great. And now I'm gonna feel safer on the road because people are crazy drivers, and it's always great to have a dash cam. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.